helmets and requirements on that. I think that that's something that we should address. But if you want to continue this on and have a number of hearings, whatever you want to do, I'm fine with that.
I guess the other thing I would say is the reason that many of these middle schoolers and elementary schoolers have these bikes is because not we as a city, but we as a community, the city of Fairview Park does not offer busing to most students. And therefore, how else are you going to get to school when two parents work? And so I also want to have that discussion as to, are we taking away the ability for some of these kids to transport themselves through the school or not? Like, how does that work when this is all parents have left in some cases,
Well, how
right?
were they doing before they had e-bikes?
Well, I guess that is part of the discussion is when the chief says that this is something that he would like to start enforcing and cracking down on, I'd like to know exactly, what has precipitated the need for emergency passage without 3 reads. How many incidents is he encountering? What type of incidents are his officers in the street experiencing? Is this, kids on an e-bike and or a regular bike rolling through a stop sign, or, riding down the sidewalk at what is perceived to be an I'd like to have the opportunity to see what the precipitating factors are that's leading to the emergency passage without this type of discussion.
Yeah, and then my other question, I guess, are these the proposed changes to?
This is the Cliff Notes because
To ordinance
sent
30.
out all of the legislation.
You have
For
it
third-
all, it's all drafted.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all been drafted
Submitted
and
to-
it was all sent out for us to review. So this is just this is like a
high
Cliff
level.
Note from
Yes.
the law director, because the chief has asked for it to be passed.
And all the sections that are not appearing in these cliff notes stay the same.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's other sections, you see the numbers.
Yeah.
There's other sections that are untouched that will remain the same.
And none of this is contrary to what state law is on the bicycle issue.
All right.
Then when we come back in fall, we could
When did we get?
bring
We're
it back
tweak it
into,
again.
When did we
yeah.
get the legislation?
When do we,
It went out with everything.
was
Late
it
last week.
on Friday?
Friday.
Was
Friday,
it in
yeah,
that?
by noon on Friday, I think I got it.
Okay, so,
From Liz's,
Yeah.
But I would also argue something
sorry.
with such urgency that needs to be passed immediately probably could have been brought to us within enough time for at least one read and one committee.
Right.
I mean, if we've been-
I did indicate to you folks, I don't know, a week or 2
Yeah.
weeks
That it was
ago
coming,
Yeah,
e-bikes
sure.
were coming.
It came on Thursday, not Friday, sorry.
the other question I have around this legislation is, the speed limit of the electric bikes is 35, 40 miles an hour, where a regular bike is obviously slower than that.
But how fast your legs are.
Yeah, depending on how fast your legs are, but we're going to assume if it's a middle schooler riding it, it's maybe 15 miles an hour.
5.
5?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going with 5. So in my opinion, an electric bike shouldn't be ridden by anyone who can't have a driver's license if you're going to ride a bike that fast. And it should be in the street. And if you can't be in the street, then you shouldn't be on an
All bikes
e-bike.
should need to be on the street, though. It's the law that all bikes are on the street.
Even a regular bike?
Yeah, that's the law. It's a vehicle.
So agreed, it's the law, but it's certainly not, as a parent, what I'm going to instruct my children to do, right?
I did.
I'm just being completely honest about that.
Okay.
I mean, so I think there's a lot of discussion to be had here. My
Well,
recommendation would be
in
to have
the-
that discussion next week in committee, and then we can have a special meeting after.
I agree.
Agreed.
Okay.
Because
Is that
there's,
with putting it on first tonight, or are you trying to remove it from the agenda?
Oh, no, we can do a first reading tonight. I have no
and
problem with
return
that.
it to committee, yeah.
Okay, so we'll have
Okay.
to amend the agenda
For him?
after.
Okay.
And then on here, it says clarifies that street riders follow electric vehicle rules, sidewalk riders follow pedestrian rules.
Yeah. It's all explained in the, if you read the sections of the ordinance. It will give that all to you. We can come and give you a presentation. I know that the police department has a little bit of a slideshow on the different level of electric bikes and how this applies, what the law is.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate having just a little bit extra time to look at it.
Okay.
It's definitely warranted. It's nothing to apologize for.
All right, well, it's 7 o'clock. Let's get going here.
Wait a minute. Stop this.
We're good? Okay. All right, I'm going to call to order the regular meeting of council for the City of Fairview Park for Monday, June 15, 2026. We will now have a moment of silent reflection. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Will the clerk please call roll?
Mr. Lang.
Here.
Mr. Minnick.
Here.
Ms. Greenfield.
Here.
Mrs. King.
Here.
Mrs. Waring.
Here.
Mr. Raley, absent. Mrs. Mann.
Here.
I will now make a motion to excuse Councilman Raley.
So moved.
Second.
Will the clerk please call roll on the motion?
Mr. Lang.
Yes.
Mr. Minnick.
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield.
Yes.
Mrs. King.
Yes.
Mrs. Waring.
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Raley's is excused. I would now like to make a motion to suspend the normal order of business to present a resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Can you please call roll on the motion?
Mr. Lang.
Yes.
Mr. Minnick.
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield.
Yes.
Mrs. King.
Yes.
Mrs. Waring.
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. I would now like to make a motion to place a resolution up for emergency passage. Can the clerk please read the title?
Resolution 2614. A resolution honoring Pete Ivanko for his distinguished and dedicated service to the city of Fairview Park.
Thank you. I would now like to make a motion to suspend charter provision in Rule 49 requiring 3 readings.
So moved.
Second.
Can you please call roll on this motion?
Mr. Lang.
Yes.
Mr. Minnick.
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield.
Yes.
Mrs. King.
Yes.
Mrs. Waring.
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. I would now like to make a motion to dispense with Rule 53 requiring referral to committee.
So moved.
Second.
Can you please call roll on the motion?
Mr. Lang.
Yes.
Mr. Minnick.
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield.
Yes.
Mrs. King.
Yes.
Mrs. Waring.
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. I would like to have the clerk read the resolution in pertinent part.
I concur.
Thank you.
Resolution 2614, sponsored by City Council. A resolution honoring Pete Ivanko for his distinguished and dedicated service to the city of Fairview Park. Whereas Pete Ivanko has been a proud and devoted resident of Fairview Park, Ohio, for more than 50 years, sharing a life of commitment and service with his beloved wife, Lori Ivanko, knee roller, a lifelong Fairview Park resident who honorably served the community through her 29-year tenure at the Fairview Park Library until her passing on December 31st, 2025. And whereas Pete and Lori Ivanko were united in marriage on March 31st, 1968, and shortly thereafter, Mr. Ivanko answered the call to serve his nation in the United States Army, where he served with distinction as a drill sergeant and in reconnaissance. Together, they raised their daughter, Kelly, and followed his honorable military service. Mr. Ivanko embarked upon a successful 40-year career in the automotive industry, ultimately retiring as general sales manager of Bedford Nissan. And whereas Mr. Ivanko has demonstrated exemplary civic commitment through his membership and active participation in numerous community and veterans organizations, including the Elks, Eagles, Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 6676 and American Legion Post 21, and through his leadership in the Fairview Park Junior Chamber of Commerce, where he helped establish a lasting community initiatives, including the Santa Patrol, the Bain Park Warming Hut and ice skating rink, playground improvements, an annual haunted house, and a community recycling program. And whereas in 1979, after seeking election to the Fairview Park City Council, Mr. Vanko was appointed by Mayor Gall to the Fairview Park Civil Service Commission, commencing a tenure that spanned nearly 46 years under 5 mayors and numerous police and fire chiefs, during which he has contributed significantly to civil service administration, personnel matters, promotional and entry-level examinations, and the continued development of civil service rules. And whereas Mr. Ivanko has further enriched the community through nearly 35 years of service as an announcer, scorekeeper, and timekeeper for Fairview Park football and basketball programs, more than 30 years of participation in local softball leagues, and a lifetime of dedication, integrity, and public-spirited service that has left a lasting and meaningful impact upon the city of Fairview Park and its citizens. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Fairview Park, County of Cuyahoga, and State of Ohio, that the Council of the City of Fairview Park hereby formally recognizes and commends Pete Ivanko for his outstanding contributions and unwavering dedication to public service, and present this resolution as a lasting testament to the gratitude and appreciation of this community.
Deliver Teddy Roosevelt too, right?
That's for further discussion? Okay. Is there any further discussion prior to the call for passage? All right. Can you please call roll?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Thank you very much for all of your service.
Thank you.
Job, Pete. Council President, if I may.
Yes.
Just to get you out of here, Pete, I don't want you to keep you here too long,
Here, Bill.
but
Bill.
there we go. Here's the resolution from council, and here's the proclamation from the mayor's office as well. Both, I guess. Thank you, sir.
I didn't realize it was that good.
Thank you, Pete.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Pete.
very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Pete, for
you.
everything.
Thank you for everything.
You've been amazing.
Be good, Pete. Behave yourself.
All right. Are there any written communications, petitions, or claims?
No.
Okay. We'll now move on to committee reports. Environment, Public Works, Planning, Zoning, and Development. Councilwoman Mann.
Thank you, Council President. The Environment, Public Works, Planning, Zoning, and Development Committee met June 8th at 7 o'clock. All members were in attendance, as well as Mayor Schneider and Directors Pay, Hitch, and Dever, and Megan Otter. One item was on the agenda. Ordinance 2626 authorizing requests for RFPs for design services for Lorraine Road project. Megan Otter explained that American Structure Point was hired to review the various studies previously done to distill recommendations into a cohesive plan. Engineer Anthony Pisanelli and traffic engineer Ben Morgan from American Structure Point presented their findings. They recommended goal-focused short-term improvements with longevity and long-term improvements that provide the greatest impact. All previous studies sought public input which indicated pedestrian safety, walkability, aesthetics, and traffic calming were priorities for residents. The TLCI study, that's NOACA's Transportation for Livable Communities Initiative, provided the basis for American Structure Point's recommendations. In that study, a road diet that is an elimination of one lane of traffic in each direction, was recommended for the downtown area at a minimum. The resulting space created could either be used for parking on both sides of the roadway with bump outs at intersections to enhance pedestrian safety, or parking on one side with the addition of bike lanes. For some stretches of Lorraine, the use of bike lanes would prohibit street parking, and since bike lanes are for experienced riders, the administration opted for creation of additional parking. Traffic studies indicated that we currently have acceptable wait times at all intersections with Worcester Road, requiring the longest wait times at peak hours. If we adopt a road diet extending to Worcester, turn lanes will be required at Worcester and West 210 to preserve acceptable wait times. It's recommended that the city upgrade traffic signal controls for enhanced light timing with emergency vehicle preemption and radio coordination of lights along the corridor. This will improve public safety and reduce travel time on Lorraine. Those side streets will experience longer wait times. Poles should be retained and repainted as a cost-saving measure. The short-term design recommendation is a road diet from West 229 to Worcester with one lane of traffic in each direction, a combined center left turn lane, and parking on both sides with curb bump outs at intersections to increase safety and walkability. Long-term recommendations include incorporating a shared use path from West 210 to Story Road for connectivity to the metro parks, center lane medians to control access and resolve left turn conflicts, a roundabout or more turn lanes at Worcester for efficiency and future lane reductions to the east, and streetscaping and gateway features. These items will necessitate acquiring additional right-of-way. Appropriate planning and funding sources will be required. The short-term project, including curb bump outs and resurfacing, restriping, new traffic signal heads and controls, and repainting of poles, has an estimated cost of $6.6 million. Our current funding stack of $2.3 million from ODOT Urban Paving and $1.9 million from CMAQ both include city matching funds, which makes our total local share $4.4 million as proposed. Next steps would be to authorize RFPs for final design while seeking additional funding throughout the preliminary and final design phases, with construction starting 2029 and signal optimization upon completion. Councilwoman Mann asked if bike lanes were favored by residents in the TLCI study and needed clarification of what is meant by a shared use path. Mr. Pisanelli did not know if bike lanes were requested, but explained that a shared use path is safer but more expensive, with either acquisition of right-of-way or relocation of sewer infrastructure. Councilman Lang asked if savings from eliminated signal equipment would justify developing a roundabout at Worcester at this point, and if the granted funds would allow this. Mr. Pisanelli said it would be a lengthy process getting right-of-way, so it's more a matter of timing that the roundabout is a future project. He asked how the time required to travel Lorraine would be affected by these proposed changes. Travel time would be decreased. Councilwoman Waring expressed concerns about wait times entering Lorraine traffic from side streets and visibility concerns with additional street parking near angled side streets. Mr. Pisanelli said site distance would be addressed in final design, but the stop bars would be moved forward, and the city is aware of both issues and is exploring solutions such as right-only turns. She asked about timing of signals to reduce travel time in total. It was explained that signaling will prioritize movement of Lorraine traffic. Ms. Waring pointed out that drivers make U-turns to access street parking and proposed angled as opposed to parallel parking for safety, and wondered why parking was prioritized. It was explained that U-turns should be reduced with parking availability on both sides, that angled parking requires more space, and that parking isn't prioritized, but lane reduction just frees up that space, and that the elimination of 2 lanes is for safety. There was some discussion about how road rage is impacted by road diets. She asked how the bump outs would work with snow plows and how the lane reduction would impact emergency services. Director Hitch said that plow drivers would need to be trained to slow down and be more careful, and it was noted that the parking and the center turn lane, the width of pavement is unchanged, so emergency vehicles should be able to drive around. Councilwoman Greenfield expressed concern about the safety of the light at get-go and asked if it could be removed. Ms. Otter said that was a recommendation in previous studies, but there's a party interested in the open lot in the shopping center, so the city hesitates to remove it at this time. Ms. Greenfield also said that lane reductions made sense in the downtown area of Lorraine, but does not support a lane reduction on the west segment of Lorraine due to visibility issues. The mayor said many of these changes being proposed will be done with striping and allow us to remove parking spaces easily. Councilman Minnick said Lorraine used to be a single lane in each direction with parking on both sides, and he supports adopting this design again. Councilwoman Mann asked the city to return to council for further input during the final design phase, given the fact that there are aspects of this project that still require choices to be made. Councilwoman Waring echoed this request to allow council members a say in matters that affect their wards. Ms. Mann moved to place ordinance 2626 up for third read and final passage. The motion passed unanimously. The Environmental Public Works, Planning, Zoning, and Development Committee adjourned at 8:19.
Thank you. Now, Local Government and Community Services, Councilwoman Waring.
Thank you, Council President. Local Government and Community Services Committee met on Monday, June 8th, beginning at 9:22 p.m. Present was Police Chief Shepard. The committee discussed the issue, police updates. Chief Shepard provided updates for council on the following items. First, School Resource Officer. Police Chief Shepard asked for council's input on what they've heard about the School Resource Officer. Currently, the School Resource Officer, or SRO, is Officer McLaughlin. Officer Toth and Officer Titler have been trained as backups. All police are asked to interact with the community as often as possible to increase community policing and relationship building. The chief submitted to council letters of approval of the program. Councilwoman Mann asked who initiated the program, and Chief Shepard said it was a joint endeavor between the schools and the city. This program is designed to create school safety as well as build a bridge between the community and the school resource officer and police department to provide a positive role model and resource for students. Councilwoman Mann questioned whether this program does build safety based on several studies, and Chief Shepard spoke to the statistics and the details of the studies to provide context. Councilwoman Mann asked what was happening in the schools that required an SRO. Officer Shepard referenced an incident in 2017, as well as later bomb threats, swatting incidents, and shooting threats, including at the 2026 graduation ceremony. Officer Shepard believes that having an officer inside the school allows the city to have a better proactive plan for the building. Councilwoman Mann asked about the end-of-the-year meetings with the police and schools to discuss how the SRO program is working. She pressed to find out if there are any changes to the program resulting from the previous end-of-year meetings, and Chief Shepard said that there were changes, including training and school leadership and the school leadership group that was created. Officer McLaughlin provides monthly reports on school visits and workload. CAD reports are also generated for his activities. Councilwoman Mann pressed on the topic of community policing and why it needs to be in schools. Chief Shepard mentioned that it is a new way of policing that gets officers out of their cars to work with stakeholders such as business owners, residents, etc., to get to the root of problems and break down the barriers so that stakeholders feel more comfortable approaching the police when there is a problem to report. Chief Shepard pressed that the schools and students are part of the community, and thus the SRO helps with community policing, just as the Coffee with a Cop and other programs support it. Ultimately, Councilwoman Mann asked for further outlined goals and responsibilities for the officer in the Memorandum of Understanding associated with the project. As this is an approved program that has been previously litigated by council, the chair asked that if there are recommendations for changes to the program, that a recommendation be presented to the chair for further discussion in the fall. Flock cameras. The program began in 2023. Prior to that, there were crimes in the city, and some of the neighboring agencies had success solving similar crimes with their flock camera system. Chief Shepard indicated that the only federal entity that accesses Fairview Park system is the police department at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. This is allowed because it is in the state of Ohio and they are also part of the flock system. There have been no inquiries or sharing of data with other federal agencies, including the FBI, DEA, ICE, or CIA, or Homeland Security. The city has opted out of the immigration and reproductive rights searches because there are no local or state ordinances that require those searches. ICE has not contacted the city or reached out to the city. Chief Shepard is not aware of any large-scale investigations except for 2 human trafficking cases in the area. The city has reached out to federal agencies for suspect identification in the past for 2 cases. When Flock was first introduced, other companies were considered, but Flock was picked due to the large number of cameras in the network in our geography. Our cameras are connected to the same system as Rocky River and North Olmsted, as well as the metro parks. These cameras alert the police department to stolen cars, wanted people, and other criminal activity. It can also help to locate a missing person or an individual who might have been reported as being in distress. Police Chief Shepard detailed several crimes that were solved with the assistance of flock cameras and several missing distressed people who were able to be recovered safely with the assistance of flock cameras. The data collected is a picture of the car, the license plate, the time the car passed by the camera, and which camera recorded it. Data has been shared with 582 agencies since inception. Reciprocity is a two-way street, and sharing the data with other agencies can help us in the future when we need data from those agencies. Searches of the database can either be done within a radius or more broadly, such as statewide or nationwide. There are approximately 120,000 searches happening nationwide in a week. Councilwoman Mann asked how the LSAG readers interact with the flock system. Chief Shepard said that they do not. The city has Falcon cameras which do not have microphones on them. Councilwoman Mann asked if they have environmental sensors on them, and Chief Shepard says he does not know what that would detail. We are just receiving pictures. We also do not have the wing feature. We also do not have the integration with the ring system. Councilwoman Mann asked about the guardrails on requests for immigration or reproductive purposes, and our system does not allow for those searches. When pushed about misidentifying the reason for a request, Chief Shepard indicated that that would be an issue with integrity with the searcher, which could be penalized. The original ordinance only allowed for 2 years of flock service. Another ordinance was not presented because this is a standard software purchase that does not fall within the legislative authority of council based on the contract value, similar to other police software. This would be approved by the Board of Control. Councilwoman Mann has connected with councilpersons in the city of Shaker Heights who renegotiated the contract with Flock to require authorization to search the city's database. Councilman Raley asked if these are focused on public roadways, and the chief said yes. Councilman Raley also asked if there were any issues with the constitutionality, and Law Director Dever said no. As this is an approved program that has been previously litigated by council, the chair asked that if there are any recommendations for changes to the program, that a recommendation be presented to the chair for further discussion in the fall. A motion to remove police updates from the committee passed 7-0, and local government and community services concluded at 10:31 p.m. Thank you, Council President. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Now, Finance, Councilwoman Greenfield.
Thank you, Council President. The Finance Committee meeting began at 8:23 p.m. The recording for the Fairview Park City Council meeting can be found on our Fairview Park website. All members of City Council were present: the Mayor, Director Pay, Hitch, and Law Director Dever. We had a guest speaker, John Delano, to speak on Ordinance 2637, the AFSCME Service Department contract. The contract has been ratified. Changes have been made in the language of the AFSCME agreement for clarification and defining the roles and expectations of employees in the city. It is a fair and balanced agreement between the city and the employees. Some key topics that were highlighted in John Delano's discussion regarding Ordinance 2637, the AFSCME Service Department contract. Wages. The wages were increased and benefits for employees. The increase in wages and job classifications were changed to increase the city's ability to hire new employees at a higher pay rate based on the employee's skill set. Additional compensation for certification and licensures for 20 job titles were also included in the new agreement, and employees will receive a premium for being certified. Other topics in the ratified agreement including medical, the HSA cap. There's a cap now for HSA at current levels. Vision and dental was increased by 15%, and the benefit package and members are now all under this plan. There were several other changes to the AFSCME contract agreement around probationary periods, which were changed to 9 months for funeral leave. Seniority increased to 24 months. Shift based on classifications, not seniority. Sick leave was reduced to 7 days. Snow plowing, you have to be on call during that time. Jewelry pay, now they can keep their salary they earned during jewelry duty. Sick leave is allowed for an adopted child now in the new ratified agreement. Layoffs and vacations were also changed to provide additional vacation time. CDL was no longer required, and the city will pay for the CLD training. But there's a three-year commitment. There's shift differentials. They improve the uniform allowance, and the obligation to negotiate between the city can now modify their practices without that negotiation. And there's also a grievance field. At the director level, you can file a grievance, but the director has to file that to streamline the process. Director pay was present in addition to Attorney John Delano to provide some additional context on Ordinance 2637. She said the goal is to have consistency across the city with pay, vacation days, health insurance for all the employees, so there is equality. Ordinance 2637, the ASME agreement, was placed on second reading with emergency passage, and it was passed 7-0. Ordinance 2638, the 2027 CDBG grant. Megan Otter was present and stated that the grant request is for a maximum amount of $50,000 for the Belvedere Sewer Project. Ordinance 2638 was placed on second reading with emergency passage, and that passed 7-0. Ordinance 2639, the 2027 GDBG grant. Megan Otter was present and stated the grant request is for $72,000 for the Westwood project. The ordinance 2639 was placed on second reading with emergency passage, and it passed 7-0. Ordinance 2640, the sale of obsolete city vehicles. Director Hitch provided some additional context and restated how and why the vehicles are being removed from the city fleet. Ordinance 2640 was placed on second reading with emergency passage, and it passed 7-0. Resolution 2613, Tax Incentive Review Council. Director Pay was present and stated that the Act of Lorraine study requires the city to have a TIFF committee, which is required by the Cuyahoga County Revised Code. The mayor stated his appointments have changed because of the requirements of the TIF committee. Motion to amend Resolution 2613 passed 7-0. Resolution 2613 with the amendment was placed on second read and emergency passage and passed 7-0. Ordinance 2636, authorizing the sale of city-owned football equipment. Councilwoman Mann reported Director Kemp's response to the certification of helmets. The Fairview Park certified helmets will be sold through Play It Again Sports, and the helmets that are not certified will be scrapped. Ordinance 2636 was placed on third and final reading and passed 7-0. Resolution 2612, the alternative tax budget. Director Pay was present and provided background on the county's request for alternative tax budget. The motion to add the tax budget of 2027 as an Exhibit A passed 7-0. Resolution 2612 with Exhibit A was placed on second and emergency passage and passed with 6 yes and 1 abstention. The Finance Committee meeting ended at 9:22 p.m. And that's all I have to report.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to move ordinances 2641 and 2642 from legislation for passage without 3 reads to legislation up for first reading.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Can you please call roll on the motion?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Miss Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. We will now have legislation up for first read. Ordinance 2641. And that's Councilwoman Waring.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to place 2 ordinances up for first reading this evening.
Could the clerk please read the titles?
Ordinance 2641, requested by Mayor Bill Schneider, sponsored by Councilwoman Waring. An ordinance amending Section 301.04 bicycle, motorized bicycle, moped, electric bicycle of the codified ordinances of the City of Fairview Park to include additional regulations concerning the operation of electric bicycles and electric scooters and declaring an emergency. Ordinance 2642, requested by Mayor Bill Schneider, sponsored by Councilwoman Waring. An ordinance amending Chapter 373, bicycles and motorcycles of the codified ordinances of the City of Fairview Park to include additional regulations concerning the operation of electric bicycles and electric scooters and declaring an emergency.
Okay, ordinances 2641 and 2642 are put into Local Government and Community Services Committee. Now it's time for audience input on legislation up for passage tonight. Is there anyone who would like to speak on legislation up for passage? I don't think anyone's raised their hand. Okay. All right. Legislation up for third read and final passage, Councilwoman Mann.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to place ordinance 2626 up for third read and final passage.
Will the clerk please read the title?
Ordinance 2626, originated by Megan Otter, Assistant Development Director, requested by Mayor Bill Schneider, sponsored by Councilwoman Mann and Councilwoman Greenfield, co-sponsored by Councilman Minnick, Councilman Lang, and Councilman Raley. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to request proposals and enter into a contract as approved by the Board of Control for professional design services for the Lorraine Road Infrastructure Enhancement Project and declaring an emergency.
Is there any discussion prior to our vote?
If I may.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to say that as Ward 4 abuts the North Olmsted border and is impacted by many streets that are angled, where on-street parking can create hazards, I have a lot of concerns about the initial recommendation that was presented last week, where we would be increasing on-street parking and minimizing lanes. While I do recognize that what is good for portions of the city is not always good for other portions of the city, and we have to think about the city as a whole, I have been asked to represent Ward 4, and I do believe that there are just too many difficulties with the recommended proposal where we are going to start based on the proposal last week for me to support this. I am happy to have further discussions, and I am happy to listen as this moves forward if it passes this evening and provide the input. But I have a lot of questions, and I feel like without having those truly understood and truly understanding how that will impact, all of the visibility and movement throughout the city, I just want to state that I'm going to support Ward 4 and what I believe is right for it this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion before we call roll? All right. Would you please call roll on passage of ordinance 2626?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
No.
Mrs. Mann,
Yes.
Okay. Ordinance 2626 passes. Councilwoman Mann.
I'd like to place ordinance 2627 up for third read and final passage.
Will the clerk please read the title?
Ordinance 2627, requested by Mayor Bill Schneider, sponsored by Councilwoman Mann, co-sponsored by Councilwoman Greenfield, Councilman Lang, and Councilman Lang. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into cooperative service agreement number 27-7239-5837-RA with the United States Department of Agriculture, Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service, Wildlife Services, for assistance with implementation of the City of Fairview Park's White-tailed Deer Management Program.
Before passage, is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, will you please call roll on passage of ordinance 2627?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes. Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Meehan.
Yes.
Ordinance 2627 passes. Councilwoman Waring.
Thank you, Council President. I would like to place ordinance 2628 up for third reading and final passage this evening.
Will the clerk please read the title?
Ordinance 2628, originated by Jennifer Pay, Finance Director, HR Manager, requested by Mayor Bill Schneider, sponsored by Councilwoman Waring and Councilwoman Greenfield. An ordinance amending Section 929.06 of Chapter 929 entitled Solid Waste Collection Charges of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Fairview Park and declaring an emergency.
Prior to passage, is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call roll on passage of ordinance 2628?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Meehan.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2628 passes. Councilwoman Waring.
Thank you, Council President. I would like to place resolution 2609 up for third reading and final passage.
Will the clerk please read the title?
Resolution 2609, originated by Councilwoman Waring, requested by Mayor Bill Schneider, sponsored by Councilwoman Waring and Councilwoman Greenfield. A resolution renaming the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Coalition to the Access and Equity Action Committee, repealing Resolution 2017 amended passed on January 4th, 2021, and declaring an emergency.
Prior to passage, is there any discussion?
If I may.
Yes.
I just want to thank this council, the administration, and the DEI Coalition for all of the fantastic discussion we've had surrounding this and the support moving forward to rename the DEI Coalition. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All right, seeing none, will the clerk please call roll on passage for resolution 2609?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Meehan.
Yes.
Okay, resolution 2609 passes. Councilwoman Greenfield.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to place ordinance 2629 up for third reading and final passage.
Will the clerk please read the title?
Ordinance 2629, requested by Mayor Bill Schneider, sponsored by Councilwoman Greenfield, co-sponsored by Councilwoman Mann, Councilman Minnick, and Councilwoman Waring. An ordinance providing for the issuance and sale of not to exceed $4,720,000 in notes in anticipation of bonds for the purpose of paying costs of improving the city's sanitary sewage system by constructing and improving sanitary and storm sewers and related sanitary and drainage facilities, and declaring an emergency.
Prior to passage, is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, will the clerk please call roll on passage of ordinance 2629?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Ordinance 2629 passes. Councilwoman Greenfield.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to place ordinance 2630 up for third reading and final passage.
Will the clerk please read the title?
Ordinance 2630, requested by Mayor Bill Schneider, sponsored by Councilwoman Greenfield, co-sponsored by Councilwoman Mann, Councilman Minnick, and Councilwoman Waring. An ordinance providing for the issuance and sale of not to exceed $1,680,000 of notes in anticipation of the issuance of bonds for the purpose of paying costs of improving streets by reconstructing, resurfacing, grading, draining, curbing, and paving, constructing water supply, sanitary and drainage facilities, and making other improvements as designated in the plans approved or to be approved by council, and declaring an emergency.
Prior to passage of ordinance 2630, is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call roll on passage?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Ordinance 2630 passes. Councilwoman Greenfield.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to place ordinance 2631 up for third reading and final passage.
Will the clerk please read the title?
Ordinance 2631, originated by Jennifer Pay, Finance Director, HR Manager, requested by Mayor Bill Schneider, sponsored by Councilwoman Greenfield and Councilwoman Waring. An ordinance levying special assessments for collection of the monthly charge for the collection of solid waste in the city of Fairview Park, Ohio, for the tax year 2026 and declaring an emergency.
Prior to passage, is there any discussion? Will the clerk please call roll on passage of ordinance 2631?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Mann,
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2631 passes. Councilwoman Greenfield.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to place ordinance 2632 up for third reading and final passage.
Okay, will the clerk please read the title?
Ordinance 2632, originated by Jennifer Pay, Finance Director, HR Manager, requested by Mayor Bill Schneider, sponsored by Councilwoman Greenfield. An ordinance levying special assessments for the improvement of all of the streets of Fairview Park, Ohio, providing and supplying said streets with electric street lighting for the tax year 2026 and declaring an emergency.
Prior to passage, is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, will the clerk please call roll on passage of ordinance 2632?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Mann,
Yes.
Ordinance 2632 passes. Councilwoman Greenfield.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to place ordinance 2633 up for third reading and final passage.
Okay, will the clerk please read the title?
Ordinance 2633, requested by Mayor Bill Schneider, sponsored by Councilwoman Greenfield. An ordinance authorizing the administration to contract with Smith & Obie for boiler replacement at City Hall and boiler replacement at the Gemini Center through a cooperative purchasing contract and declaring an emergency.
Prior to passage, is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, will the clerk please call roll on the passage of ordinance 2633?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Mann,
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2633 passes. Councilwoman Greenfield.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to place ordinance 2634 up for third reading and final passage.
Okay, will the clerk please read the title?
Ordinance 2634, originated by Megan Otter, Assistant Development Director, requested by Tony Raffin, Fire Chief, sponsored by Councilwoman Greenfield, co-sponsored by Council President King and Councilman Raley. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with R.E. Warner and Associates Incorporated to provide owners' representative services for the fire department co-ed facilities modernization project in an amount not to exceed $49,700 and declaring an emergency.
Prior to passage, is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, will the clerk please call roll on passage of ordinance 2634?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Mann,
Yes.
Ordinance 2634 passes. Councilwoman Greenfield.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to place ordinance 2635 up for third reading and final passage.
Will the clerk please read the title?
Ordinance 2635, originated by Brian Hitch, Service Director, requested by Mayor Bill Schneider, sponsored by Councilwoman Greenfield, and co-sponsored by Councilman Raley. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to purchase a 2026 Ford F-150 Crew and a 2026 Ford Truck Explorer for the Service Department and declaring an emergency.
Prior to passage, is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call roll on passage of ordinance 2635?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Mann,
Yes.
Ordinance 2635 passes. Councilwoman Greenfield.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to place Resolution 2611 up for third reading and final passage.
Will the clerk please read the title?
Resolution 2611, originated by Jennifer Pay, Finance Director, HR Manager, requested by Mayor Bill Schneider, sponsored by Councilwoman Greenfield, co-sponsored by Councilwoman Mann. A resolution requesting the county fiscal officer to advance taxes from the proceeds of tax levies pursuant to Section 321.34 of the Ohio Revised Code and declaring an emergency.
Prior to passage, is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call roll on passage of Resolution 2611?
Councilman, Mr. Lang.
Yes.
Mr. Minnick. What I was saying
Yes.
for a minute. Ms. Greenfield.
Yes.
Mrs. King.
Yes.
Mrs. Waring.
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Resolution 2611 passes. Councilwoman Greenfield.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to place Resolution 2612 for third reading and final passage.
Okay, will the clerk please read the title?
Resolution 2612, requested by Mayor Bill Schneider, sponsored by Councilwoman Greenfield. A resolution adopting the alternative tax budget of the City of Fairview Park, State of Ohio, for fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2027, and submitting the same to the Cuyahoga County Fiscal Officer and declaring an emergency.
Prior to passage, is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, will the clerk please call roll on passage of Resolution 2612?
Mr. Lang.
Yes.
Mr. Minnick.
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield.
Yes.
Mrs. King.
Yes.
Mrs. Waring.
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Okay, Resolution 2612 passes. Now we're up for legislation up for passage without three readings. Councilwoman Greenfield.
Okay. I just realized we jumped. Sorry. Yes, I would like to place ordinance 2636 up for emergency passage.
Okay, will the clerk please read the title?
Ordinance 2636, originated by Carrie Kemp, Recreation Director, requested by Mayor Bill Schneider, sponsored by Councilwoman Greenfield. An ordinance authorizing the Director of Recreation to sell football equipment from the city's inventory and to dispose, scrap what cannot be sold, and declaring an emergency.
Okay, Councilwoman Greenfield?
Thank you. Are we going to vote on it? Oh, yes. I'd like to make a motion to dispense with Rule 53 requiring referral to committee.
I'm sorry, it's 49.
Oh, sorry. I would like to make a motion to dispense with Rule 49 requiring referral to committee.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will you please call roll on the motion?
Mr. Lang.
Yes.
Mr. Minnick.
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield.
Yes.
Mrs. King.
Yes.
Mrs. Waring.
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
No, we don't have to do
all right.
53. It's only 49.
Okay, prior to passage, is there any discussion on ordinance 2636?
Council President?
Yes.
I would just like to thank the administration for addressing my concerns that we might be selling helmets that had passed out of certification to parents who maybe were not aware that they were risking their child's health by using that equipment. So thank you very much for,
Is it this
sa-
one?
you know,
Suspend
confirming
charter
that you would be
provision.
scrapping
49. Yeah,
those
that's the only
helmets.
thing you have to do.
Excellent.
Gotcha.
Any further discussion? All right, seeing none, will you please call roll on the passage of ordinance 2636?
Mr. Lang.
Yes.
Mr. Minnick.
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield.
Yes.
Mrs. King.
Yes.
Mrs. Waring.
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Ordinance 2636 passes. Councilwoman Greenfield.
Thank you, Council President. I would like to place ordinance 2637 up for emergency passage.
Okay, will the clerk please please read the title?
Ordinance 2637, requested by Mayor Bill Schneider, sponsored by Councilwoman Greenfield, co-sponsored by Councilwoman Mann. An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Fairview Park, Ohio, to enter into an agreement with the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, AFSCME, Local 2681, and declaring an emergency.
Councilwoman Greenfield.
Thank you, Council President. I would like to make a motion to suspend with charter provisions and Rule 49 requiring 3 readings.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Will the clerk please call roll on the motion?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Prior to final passage, is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, will the clerk please call roll on passage of ordinance 2637?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Ordinance 2637 passes. Councilwoman Greenfield.
Thank you, Council President. I would like to place ordinance 2638 up for emergency passage.
Okay, will the clerk please read the title?
Ordinance 2638, originated by Megan Otter, Assistant Development Director, requested by Mayor Bill Schneider, sponsored by Councilwoman Greenfield, co-sponsored by Councilwoman Mann and Councilman Lang. An ordinance authorizing the submission of an application to Cuyahoga County for the 2027 municipal grant program and authorizing the mayor to accept any awarded grant funds and file all documents and execute all agreements necessary to receive any awarded grant funds and declaring an emergency.
Okay, Councilwoman Greenfield.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to make a motion to suspend with charter provision and Rule 49 requiring 3 readings.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Would the clerk please call roll on the motion?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Prior to final passage, is there any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, will the clerk please call roll on the final passage of ordinance 2638?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2638 passes. Councilwoman Greenfield.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to place ordinance 2639 up for emergency passage.
Will the clerk please read the title?
Ordinance 2639, originated by Megan Otter, Assistant Development Director, requested by Mayor Bill Schneider, sponsored by Councilwoman Greenfield, co-sponsored by Councilwoman Mann and Councilman Lang. An ordinance authorizing the submission of an application to Cuyahoga County for the 2027 Community Development Supplemental Grant Program, and authorizing the mayor to accept any awarded grant funds and file all documents and execute all agreements necessary to receive any awarded grant funds, and declaring an emergency.
Okay, Councilwoman Greenfield.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to make a motion to suspend with charter provision and Rule 49 requiring 3 readings.
So moved. Is there a
Second.
second? All right, will the clerk please call roll on the motion?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Prior to final passage, is there any further discussion? All right, seeing none, will the clerk please call roll on final passage of ordinance 2639?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Ordinance 2639 passes. Councilwoman Greenfield.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to place ordinance 2640 up for emergency passage.
Will the clerk please read the title?
Ordinance 2640, originated by Jennifer Pay, Finance Director, HR Manager, requested by Mayor Bill Schneider, sponsored by Councilwoman Greenfield. An ordinance authorizing the Director of Finance to sell obsolete vehicles from the city's inventory through Gov Deals and/or Greater Cleveland Auto Auction, and to dispose or scrap what cannot be sold, and declaring an emergency.
Okay, Councilwoman Greenfield.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to make a motion to suspend with charter provision and Rule 49 requiring 3 readings.
So
Okay.
moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Will the clerk please call roll on the motion?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Prior to final passage, is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, will the clerk please call roll on the final passage of ordinance 2640?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King.
Yes.
Mrs. Waring.
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Ordinance 2640 passes. Councilwoman Greenfield.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to place Resolution 2613 up for emergency passage.
Okay, will the clerk please read the title?
Resolution 2613, requested by Mayor Bill Schneider, sponsored by Councilwoman Greenfield. A resolution appointing representatives to the Tax Incentive Review Council and declaring an emergency.
Okay, Councilwoman Greenfield.
49, then 53.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to suspend with charter provision and Rule 49 requiring 3 readings.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Will the clerk please call roll?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King.
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Councilwoman Greenfield.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to amend to update the
We have
appointments.
to do 53 first.
I have to do 53 first. Okay. I'd like to make a motion.
Sorry, I'm wrong.
All right, let's start over. So I would like to make a motion to amend, to update the appointments of Matthew Kavanaugh and Matthew Ruby with Angela Russo and Thad Gauthier.
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 Not the actually.
Gauthier.
Not the
Gauthier.
Okay, so moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay,
We're getting-
seeing none, will you please call roll on the motion?
We're getting slap happy.
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King.
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Before further discussion, is there any further discussion prior to passage? Okay, seeing none, will the clerk please call roll on passage of Resolution 2613?
Mr. Lang,
Yes.
Mr. Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mrs. King.
Yes.
Mrs. Waring,
Yes.
Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Okay, Resolution 2613 passes. It's now time for reports from the mayor, directors, and other city officials. Mayor Schneider, when you're ready.
Thank you, Council President. Tony, what's PPE? Were you wearing any? Oh. Well, let's just say all a little prayer.
Yeah, so she, 4241, female was pulled out, and, was at the front door. You could hear it in the living room. Pulled her out after some chaotic moments, and, transferred her.
And you're fine? Okay. All right. Okay, thanks for that. It's unfortunate that happened, but that's the city, folks.
It's unfortunate when I have to talk to my wife about it.
Okay. All right. Friday is Juneteenth because the ASME contract was passed. Everybody except for, I guess, the officers on call and the fire department on call have the day off. So City Hall will be closed except for Meals on Wheels, which will still be operating and cooking and delivering meals. But as far as the building department goes, as well as City Hall offices, they are closed. And that's it. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Director Hitch?
Good evening. The siding on the rear garage has been replaced. Looks pretty good. The guys did a great job. We're going to try to paint that building this year just to spruce it up a bit for the neighborhood. The Bain cabin is scheduled to have the sanitary septic tank removed in the next 2 weeks. The good news is the pump station's kept up with our rain event from yesterday. We had no sewer calls over the weekend or none today.
Yay.
We did lose 2 small trees on Lorraine Avenue and one at Bain Park. Let's see what else. And we're finishing up the last of the Cleveland water main break excavations this week. That's about it.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you.
Director Pay?
Thank you. The 2025 audit is wrapping up, and we are working with Zupka, our independent public accountant, our IPA, to, not the good kind, but our the other IPA, on the annual comprehensive financial report. So that is hopefully coming to an end by the end of this month. The city is in a bit of a hiring blitz. So we have 25 plus lifeguards hired and ready to go, and hopefully some more to get online once the pool is open at the Gemini. We had 10 applicants for the police lateral position, and Civil Service is meeting tomorrow to certify that list and to extend invitations to the fitness test, which I believe is the 20th. So I think Saturday. And then over 170 applicants for the open labor positions in Service Department and the Recreation Department. We have started interviews for those. And we are still looking for to fill the mechanic position in the Service Department, the Property Maintenance Inspector position, and the part-time administrative support position. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Director Dever?
No report.
All right. Engineer Kerber?
Thank you, Council President. They have completed the water line and connections on West 23rd Street, and they are now working on the road repairs. Both Woodstock and Stanford have their road replacement underway, and the West 210 resurfacing is scheduled to begin on Wednesday.
Excellent.
That concludes my report.
All right. Thank you. It is now time for our public session. Please make sure that you've signed in at the table to speak so that the clerk can call you up to the microphone. Please be courteous in your comments, and there's a 5-minute rule.
Brenda.
Uh-oh.
Beth.
Come on up to the microphone.
Well, he said I could go first. Nice to see you guys all smiling tonight. Is this on?
Yep.
Hi, my name's Beth Johnson. I live at 4588 West 227th, and I just had a couple concerns with, that's great that 223 is finishing up. The Splash Park, is that opened or closed?
Are you talking about the Morton?
Yes.
Yeah, it's open.
Okay.
It depends on the weather, but it'll be open daily.
My husband's only concern is when we're coming down 227 to go on to Morton, in the apartment complex there is having work done. They're waterproofing or something, one of the buildings. And the cars parking on the street all the time. And he hates driving down, and all those people's cars are always parked on 223. And then you got Morton, school's out. You got Morton Splash Park. All those people are cool. Everything's going cool over there. It's just like a big, we have a truck now, so it's hard to get with all the construction and stuff. I mean, I rode my bike down here tonight. I rode on the sidewalk, and a lot of the cars, they don't put turn signals on, and my bike's falling apart because of the roads. So I've been trying to follow all the, I can ride pretty fast, but there's some pretty bad potholes.
Okay. Well, let us know where they are, and we will try and fix them as soon as possible.
Okay, and then about the deer.
Mm-hmm.
What are we supposed to do about the groundhogs that my neighbors have a fence, and then we have a partial fence because we can't afford to finish it right now. The groundhogs are ripping his fence apart and digging big, humongous holes into our yard. So I have a deer that looks in the kitchen window. I have a baby that's running around somewhere on 227th, and groundhogs, and so what are we supposed to do about those?
Well, as far as groundhogs go, that's more of a resident matter, so there are plenty of people that will trap them and take them elsewhere.
who do we, because I saw two come out the other day, come down my other neighbor's side, come into my backyard, playing around. I don't really care, you know, they were there first. But it's just that they're destroying some of our fences. Because there's big holes dug underneath their fence. It's broken up. He's gonna have to come over sometime and look at fix his fence, or us do ours. You know, and it's just not affordable right now.
Okay, well, if you call City Hall, we can probably recommend some companies that might be affordable for you to come out and trap the groundhogs.
Okay, is it gonna cost us a lot?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Y'all, it's like I said, nice to see you guys all smiling tonight.
Good to see you too.
Thank you. Thank you for stopping up. Brian?
Brian Gibbons.
Brian Gibbons, 19510 Lorraine Road. A couple of quick things. I think Councilmember Waring's reservations about the road project should be well taken and that sort of thing. And also I kind of figure that all you're doing now is looking for somebody to do it, but the devil's always in the details and that sort of thing. This is an opinion, my own unofficial survey was that I thought the presentation last week was kind of phoned in by the engineers. I thought there could have been a little bit more, just from my own experience and stuff, with regards to what the city wants to do, especially when you're talking about not just a road on level of service, but also the fact that it doesn't take into account walking and that sort of thing, and pedestrians and whatever, and moving towards a livable, walkable community, especially in a challenging place where it's all built around the car and has been since the 1950s. You know, doing this retro is a challenge, and I just think those should be kept in mind. The other thing that crossed my mind real quickly is that with like the sewer issue and then the service department issue and stuff, I wondered whether or not, and I kind of looked at the budget, and it seems that one of the things that the city may benefit from in the long run would have some sort of reserve plan for a lot of the long-term capital expenses. I know there's a capital improvement plan, but a reserve plan which would put out basically the useful life of the infrastructure of the city, so that, you know, when the service department comes up, I mean, realistically, the service department needed work decades ago and that sort of thing, if not improvement. And rather than things coming up, you know, all of a sudden we need to do this, it's kind of like scheduling it out, not in the sense of the work, but understanding that over the years the replacement cost is going to be X amount, and we need to be prepared for that one way or the other. And particularly the community needs to be prepared for it. So, you know, the fact is that when you move into a community, although I don't think people want to think about this, you don't just buy your house, you're also paying for what you're living in and that sort of thing. And those are costs that people just need to have presented to them in the sense of why the city is making the decisions that it does. So something along a reserve plan that's, you know, and they're usually like 20, they can be 30 years, and you update them, say like on a 5-year schedule, might serve the city really well, keep the public informed and that sort of thing, and make not only for better planning, but also when opportunities come up, you can always change the plan, but funding opportunities may come up to do particular things that you want to do. And with the plan, you might have a better idea of when to plug that in. Without a plan, maybe there were plans on the service department years ago that the city could have taken advantage of, but no one was really thinking of it. You know, so those are just some suggestions. Thanks.
Thanks, Brian.
Great. Thank you very much.
If I may, so probably 25 years ago, Jim Patton used to go back to the service garage area and talk to the service personnel and say, hey, we're going to get you a new service garage. So the need was always there. It's just no one's actually done and planned it out. And no one has budgeted, and no one has actually looked at the cost or come up with plans or looked at grants or done really anything to move the city forward other than, hey, we've got this much cash, we can afford to pay this. It's been out of pocket for decades now.
So it's been basically dollar in and dollar out. is
Oh,
what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah, and no planning for leveraging, nothing. So we see all these things that need to be fixed now, and we understand that unless we have a plan, unless we move forward, nothing's ever going to get done, because people have dragged their feet consistently in this city for decades, and it has driven me up a fucking wall.
Excuse me.
Yeah. I'm a 46-year resident.
Yeah.
And it is just it drives me insane.
Well, yeah, I mean, I have a much smaller but similar experience, president of a condominium association, without a reserve plan for 33 years.
Yeah.
And we're making up for it now, and it's my reign of terror on the one hand, but it's working. We've got new roofs and also other new things that are coming along, but it comes at a cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that sort of thing. So.
To the people right now, even though.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah, I mean,
something-
and
so
there's
that's-
that, you know,
that's the
I
thing.
mean.
So it-
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just that, and, you know, people don't recognize, and I just related back to the city, people don't recognize when you buy into the condominium, you're buying the whole shooting match. The same thing when you move into a city, as I thought about it. You're really, you know, paying for the whole shooting match anyways through your taxes. And so the more that there is in the way of planning, which we all agree on, the more that people will be informed and more than people can be prepared. Yeah, and understanding that, you know, those are the kind of things that make the place worthwhile.
Yeah. But, you know, when we have opportunities to actually move the city forward without spending tax dollars, we have to actually jump on those as well.
Right.
Yeah, because those are important to actually, you know,
Yeah.
functionally carry out the responsibilities of government.
Yeah.
In regards to the Lorraine Road walkability, we did look at all that. We have looked at that. The problem is that was phase 2.
Right.
And that will require substantial planning, because all that concrete, all that moving of catch basins, all of that basically reduction of laneage with actual physical barriers will probably cost millions of dollars. And that's
Right.
just money that we don't have right now. So the easiest thing, the needed thing, is to pave the thing. That's why we have an RFP going out, because we need to start the process of actually paving the road, even though we don't necessarily have a final design, and we have plenty of time to talk about the final design. We need to start the process of the RFP so that we get an actual true budget amount.
Right.
As far as you know, any sort of lane reduction or comment on that, we've been over this for about 10, 15 years now, and we've had ample time for comment. But as far as the physical improvements go, as far as lanes go, that's going to be a huge cost. Huge. And we can't just... to say that we're going to undertake everything all at once, it's just not doable. So we're taking the easy approach. We're spending money on actually repaving the road, and then in the future, when we have the time, when we have the money, when we have the appetite,
Right.
we can start moving curbs in and creating patio seating, because I want to do patio seating. You know, everybody says, oh, bury the power lines. I would love to bury the power lines. We don't have $50 million to throw at that, though. So we're going to bite it off as much as we can right now, and that's what we're doing today.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I understand that. It's just a matter of, you know, the fact that the presentation and stuff didn't necessarily take into account some of these things that you have to in the process of paving anyways, and that was just
Well, it was
for
just
the
a
comment,
recommendation.
you know. Yeah, so that's why I thought it could have used a little more detail, which I think would have done just answered more of the questions that might have been posed. So, you know, that's that. But yeah, in the long run, making the city livable and walkable is something that people want and that sort of thing. But as I mentioned too, that's also just a real tall order.
Yeah.
In a city that, you know, like any city in the county that's been built around an automobile, you know, which essentially the entire county has. So changing that is, like you say, a tall order, long time, and money.
Technically, we're built around carriages, right?
At one time.
Streetcars, yeah.
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 Brick's
Alrighty.
still there.
Pardon?
We have our.
I don't think we have the money for an interurban car right now.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for your comment.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, we will now have miscellaneous business and other comments by members of council. Councilman Lang.
I just have a couple of things. Mayor, great job to both you and to Superintendent Ahern. It was an absolutely fantastic presentation. I wish more people were in attendance, but I'm hoping that it was widely viewed because both from the young lady that gave the Pledge of Allegiance
Zoe, yeah.
thank you, Zoe, I'm drawing a blank, to both yours and the superintendent's presentations, I thought were even better than last year's. And I thought that both of those were very informative as well. So thank you very much for doing that. I know you say that you don't like public speaking, but contrary to your personal beliefs, you did a perfectly fine job. So keep doing it. It gets easier as you go.
I appreciate that. And I'm sure it does as well.
The second thing I would like to say is an absolutely huge thank you and shout out to, I believe it was the service department. I put in just a question about whose responsibility it is to maintain certain areas in the city. And no sooner did I get a we'll lick into it, but the work that I was inquiring about was done. It was done incredibly, incredibly thoroughly. And the residents that I have had the opportunity to speak with were incredibly happy that the work was done both quickly and as well as it was. So thank you to Brian. Was it the was it the? That was, please do, because I didn't even send the pictures. I was waiting for yeah, it's us. What are you looking at? And I didn't even get an opportunity. And I have before pictures if anybody's interested, but it was very much appreciative because
What'd they do?
I'll show you later. But the residents that were expressing their this is on it's Canyon, right?
Yes,
Canyon Circle.
yes.
The two medians in the shared parking area on Canyon Circle were significantly overgrown. The shrubs were very, very dense, and a lot of weeds were growing in. And the concerns of the residents were that, you know, because kids ride their bike around the circle, they're on their skateboards, they're, you know, just playing in that area with the overgrowth, it was dangerous for cars pulling out of their driveways. And I had merely inquired as to whether it was part of a shared service agreement of the residents or if it was the city. And no sooner did I get the response that the work was done. So again, fantastic job. Thank you all. It is very much appreciated.
All right, thank you. Councilman Minnick?
No report, no comment. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Councilwoman Greenfield?
Nothing tonight, thank
Okay.
you.
Councilwoman Waring?
All right, I'm going to steal Bill's time. I think that's, and hopefully only use a minute of it. First, I would like to make a motion to remove police updates from the Local Government and Community Services Committee.
So moved. Is there a second? Okay. Would you please call roll on that motion?
Mr. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. Minnick?
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mrs. Waring?
Yes.
Mrs. Mann?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Thank you very much. And then I just had a question for the administration. And my apologies, I called all over the city today, didn't get a hold of anybody until I talked to the police. But it was a very important and timely question. So my apologies that you guys probably saw my phone light up, but I literally left no voicemails until I could actually talk to somebody so that we didn't have 8 people chasing the problem. The traffic light at West 220th and Westwood today was, based on the report that I received, dangling by a thread. I ended up talking to the police department and asked them to go out and secure the facility or the intersection. I don't know if it was secured or not, but when I drove by about 5:22, the light was down, the pole was down. It looked like there was a scene. Does anybody know what happened at that light?
Did you call 911 or anything about it? I mean,
I talked to our dispatcher, who then called me back.
I drove here around 6:30, and they blocked off the intersection.
Well, it had already come down, though. It was
Okay,
not
yeah, that's
down.
all I saw was all the police lights.
Yeah.
So they were diverting people.
So
That's all I know.
Okay. I just wondered if we knew what happened because it was.
Sarah, this is the first time we've heard about it, so.
Yeah, and again, I apologize. I called your extensions. It was during lunchtime. You didn't answer. I assumed you guys were at lunch. Totally fine. But so I wanted to chase down a person, talk to the dispatchers. They said that they had sent some police out. So I was just curious. Again, like, this is not a like who did what or who did who.
Well,
My
Sarah-
goal was to talk to a human being.
Sarah, you have my cell. I mean, next time you can't reach anybody, call me.
Okay. No, I mean, I was also trying to, you know what, you're right. That's probably the appropriate thing. I was just curious if anybody knew what happened. Like I said, this is not there was nobody, like, I get it. Like, people go to lunch. It was like 12:30 in the afternoon. So that's not why I was asking the question. I just wondered if anybody knew what actually happened. That's all.
Okay.
Okay.
In,
all right.
in the future, for anybody, cell phones are probably best. We're away from our desk a lot, running around. I know Brian's away from his desk a lot. Chief Shepherd is obviously doing his own thing. But, you know, cell phone, just even text. We'll get it immediately.
I appreciate that. Okay. Thanks.
Okay, Councilwoman Mann?
So last week we had a discussion about the School Resource Officer Program, which just wrapped up its second year. I wanted to clear up what confusion some of the residents may have that had watched that, or even some of my fellow council members, over why I came to that discussion differently than others did. Provisions of that program dictate that we have to notify the school district by August 1st with a year's notice if we decide not to continue the program. The school year ends just a few weeks before this council goes into recess, and we are not back in session until after that August 1st deadline. So while some members of the council indicated that they consider this matter litigated and approved 2 years ago, I believe we have the responsibility to revisit this program each year, and I see the end of the school year as the perfect time to assess whether this program is meeting its goals. And this is where things get muddy, because there are no clear measurable goals stated in the Memorandum of Understanding between the police department and the school, as is required by law. It simply says the officer will serve in a community policing capacity and be a positive and visible presence, which is redundant. So while it may have surprised some people who weren't expecting a hearty discussion of this matter, that I came with challenging questions for the chief, I want you residents to know what I was trying to accomplish before we missed our only opportunity to continue to question whether spending this money for the next year or possibly 2 years by my reading, because that's how long I believe the program will run every time we miss that deadline before we recess. Furthermore, the state requires that we outline the protocol for the handling of criminal matters versus school discipline issues in our MOU. That is also missing. This is a disservice to our residents, because here lies the greatest potential for things to go badly with an SRO program. And I know a couple of people reached out expressing dismay at the chief's manner toward me, him twisting my words, which I think illustrates his skill as an interrogator in law enforcement. But this raises my final concern, which is to ask, does this program create an unrealistic or unbalanced view of the police? As a parent, you should know that the police are legally allowed to question your child without your permission or presence, and it is part of their job to build a case. Any defense attorney worth their salt would tell you that you should never answer police questions without an attorney present, no matter that you're innocent. This is for your own protection. So parents may want to consider that a police officer is both affable Officer Kevin and the skillful Chief Shepherd twisting your words. I want to be clear that I do appreciate law enforcement officers and the incredibly difficult job that they do. I also completely understand wanting to do all we can to protect our children. I fully intend to take the chief up on his offer to visit the department and do a ride-along. I also intend to do my job as I see it, so I will be forwarding my recommendations to Councilwoman Waring regarding the program, and I'd welcome any input from residents who have experience with SRO programs. And the Shade Tree Advisory Committee met on June 11th. All committee members were present except Amy Holtzhaus and the city arborist or their designee. Kim Mann, John Streitel, and Ethan Whitaker attended as guests. The committee welcomed new member Reed Morse, Chair Ruby advised the members of proper procedures for making purchases with budgeted city money. Because gift card purchases raise red flags in audits, the card purchased for the Arboretum grand opening giveaway will not be reimbursed. Following a discussion with the mayor, Matt Ruby informed the committee that its role is limited to advisory and educational functions. The administration has asked staff to focus on maintaining the existing public tree canopy rather than expanding it. Efforts to increase canopy on private property may proceed only in the form of educational outreach. The mayor committed to having the city arborist or their designee attend stack meetings. Mr. Whitaker suggested the committee request read-only access to the canopy data through CitizenServe to facilitate their advisory role. Melissa Sturgis informed the committee of next steps for the Arboretum. Now that trees are in leaf, she will be finalizing identification and photographing specimens to submit with the application for Level 1 certification to ArbNet. The footprint of the Arboretum will be expanded into the woods, and labels for new specimen trees will be ordered from plantsoon.com before the budget cutoff. Megan Otter will be consulted to determine the status of signage for the Arboretum. The committee discussed the condition of trees recently planted using grant money. Some have been vandalized, others appear to be dying from lack of mulch and watering. Recommendations for hiring seasonal help to water new trees, enhanced tree laws, uniformity in staking and deer protection, and creation of an educational planting and watering guide were considered. And this concludes my report. Thank you.
If I may, really quick,
Yes.
any purchases that are to be made, even if they are included in some sort of budget, have to be approved before any purchase is made. Period.
Yes, that is what Matt Ruby told them. I didn't put all of that in there for brevity, but I understand that that had previously been communicated to the other chair that did not forward it to the committee. And apparently Kathleen, who is no longer present, was the person working behind the scenes submitting those things in advance before they were spent. So that work was being done without council actually knowing how it was supposed to be done procedurally, but I didn't include all of that in my report.
Councilwoman, any time that Doug McMillan reached out to Kathleen was to ask her to put together a purchase rec, which was well under any sort of guidance needed by Board of Control or by City Council. I had a long discussion with Matt Ruby.
Mayor, I don't understand what you're taking issue with in what I said.
Just please follow proper procedure in the future.
I'm sure they will. They just weren't aware of what it was. If the previous chair knew, he didn't communicate it to the committee.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I would like to assign the issue of equalization tank study update to the Environment, Public Works, Planning, Zoning, and Development Committee. There being no further business to come before council this evening, the chair will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a sec? Perfect. Will the clerk please call roll on the motion?
Mr. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. Minnick?
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mrs. Waring?
Yes.
Mrs. Mann?
Yes.
Okay, the meeting is now adjourned.